Welcome to Lower Manhattan, folks, the beating heart of the most recognizable city on Earth. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. This area is usually jam-packed with traffic and pedestrians, but today, the streets are clear for an all-out speed contest past one of the most vertical cities in the world. Hope you're ready, because it's race time! Drivers should be getting a nice view of the Williamsburg Bridge in the distance, crossing from the Lower East Side over into Brooklyn. It was once the longest suspension bridge in the world. Not anymore, but still an important thoroughfare. You'll recognize the giant billboards coming up as Times Square. I've been here myself for multiple New Year's Eve celebrations, and there is truly nowhere else like it. What an amazing start to the U.S. Speed Tour, huh? Incredible racing today. And hang around, because there's a whole lot more of it still to come. Ah, good old San Francisco. There's a lot of nicknames for the city by the bay, but me, I just call it home. I've lived here in SF for 30 years and proud of it. So let's take a high-octane tour through what I consider the greatest city in the world and show them what it means to be the USST. That's the Bay Bridge up ahead, crossing over to Oakland and the East Bay. Passes through a couple of small islands along the way, too. One of which, known as Treasure Island, is entirely man-made. You can see now some of the Victorian-style architecture that's typical of homes in San Francisco. Rents are pretty high these days, and the city enforces strict rent control. So when people snag a house like that, they stay a long time. glorious race that was. I tell you, we Californians have it made when it comes to the weather. And I hope you're not tired of sunshine, because up next is Miami, Florida. Hey, thanks for joining us today in sunny Southern California for this next stage of the USST through the beautiful city of Long Beach. That's not a roller coaster up ahead. It's a pedestrian footbridge designed to look like one, built in honor of an amusement park that used to be here known as the Pike. Nice views of the Pacific coming up after these two turns. On a clear day, you can see all the way out to Catalina and the Channel Islands from here. And that's race number 6 in the can. We've only got 2 more left, and it's going to take us all the way across the country to the capital on the Potomac, Washington, D.C. Wow, 2 races to go. And this first one is through the heart of America's capital. They call it the District of Columbia because it's not a part of the 50 states, of course. But that doesn't mean it's neutral. And these drivers today won't be in neutral either. It's top gear they're after. So let's see them rip through Washington. Wow, 2 races to go. And this first one is through the heart of America's capital. They call it the District of Columbia. Wow, 2 races to go. And this first one is through the heart of America's capital. They call it the District of Columbia because it's not a part of the 50 states, of course. But that doesn't mean it's neutral. And these drivers today won't be in neutral either. It's top gear they're after. So let's see them rip through Washington. Well, it's been pretty smooth racing along the National Mall so far, but they're turning now into the Administrative District, where they'll have to start contending with some much sharper turns. Let's see how they handle that. Reaching the end of that first series of 90-degree turns, making their way back onto the National Mall. Wow! And that's a wrap for Washington. Great day, great racing, and even greater things still to come. Next up, we'll be racing through the Loop and the north side of Chicago. Here we are today in the Windy City on the southwest bank of Lake Michigan on an absolutely gorgeous race day afternoon. Many thanks to the mayor of Chicago for agreeing to host us today. And best of luck to our drivers as they kick off this last race of the USST season. Coming up full throttle on turn 1 now, and the site of the famous 1893 Chicago World's Fair. Looks like we're coming in pretty fast towards a hairpin turn just up ahead. And that brings us to the end of this last race of the U.S. Speed Tour. What an amazing series of races this has been for our drivers and for everyone watching at home. We'll be back in a few months with something new and very special. So keep your eye on Motorflix, and I'll see you soon. You know, the Pacific Northwest might have a reputation for being gray and rainy, but when the sun comes out, this is one of the most beautiful cities in the country. You've got Puget Sound, you've got the mountains, you've got a city just bursting with life. So, let's kick it into high gear and check out Seattle. Here we are now. Entertain us! On the left, that's the famous Space Needle, built for the 1962 Seattle World's Fair. As the story goes, its outline was first doodled on a cocktail napkin. Today, it's the most recognizable shape in the city. We're racing alongside the Seattle monorail here, another landmark built for the 1962 World's Fair. And that's another USST classic in the bag. Next up is a place a lot of people leave their hearts as the circuit makes its way to San Francisco.
you